Hare Krishna, my dear friends. Another tragedy in the skies, another headline we wish we didn't have to read or hear. The recent Air India 717 Dreamliner crashing in Ahmedabad has shocked the world, especially the aviation world. Was it technical failure? Was it the pilot's fault? Is it the human error? Is it the weather conditions? But beneath all these theories, lies a truth that is rarely spoken, the invisible threads of karma. Could there be a deeper, unseen cause behind such collective events? Let's explore that today. Kunti Devi in Srimad Bhagavatam says, Padam Padam Yat Vipadam. Every step in this material world, there is a danger in every step. So those people who are just peacefully having their afternoon lunch in the medical college mess, who knew, who guessed that the aircraft would crash inside their lunch tables and kill them? And as soon as disaster strikes, our minds starts looking for a reason. Some blame the pilot, he didn't raise the flap, he didn't withdraw the landing gear, blah, blah, blah. Because it's the easiest way to get insurance, to blame it on the pilot, human error. And some say there must have been a mechanical fault with the aircraft. Maybe there was electrical failure, maybe both engines failed, which is like super duper unlikely and rare. Some say the fuel contamination is what can cause both engines to fail. Now, all these different reasons, all these YouTube channels, all these experts giving their opinion, and while these might be valid observations on a practical level, as Arjuna is telling, nimitta matram bhavasavya satyam. So it's just instrumental reasons. They often mask the deeper fear that we are not in control. Whenever disaster strikes, we scramble for reasons. Again, is it pilot error? Is it faulty engineering? Is it government negligence? And then the politics and all the scandals and all the theories, right, people come up with. While these investigations matter on the surface level, there's a hidden refusal beneath all these things, the refusal to accept that karma exists. Even the most advanced flights, right? Most disciplined schedules, most thorough protocols, great history can still fail. I have been looking at aviation failures since the last week because I fly a lot and I studied so many cases, so many stories, so many crash landings, water landings, hijack. Oh my God. See, disclaimer, flying is still the most safest way of travel, despite all these tragedies. And there are about 100,000 deaths that happen just on a daily basis, just in India. So we are just zooming aviation accident right now, but it's a broader topic. Why failures happen in technologically advancing world? Why? Because no material arrangement is greater than destiny, especially when destiny has ripened. Because if a plane loaded with technology, experienced pilots, routine maintenance can still crash, of course, there's a whole detail about whether this Air India flight was maintained or not, but still we chase certainty. I'm giving you like a broader perspective here. Vedic wisdom says something radical. It says even if perfect arrangements can fail, no, if the karma of the moment allows it, even the perfect situations can fail. Conversely, even impossible situations can be miraculously survived if the karmic gate is open. So we saw the guy from 11A survive on this flight. He has no idea how he survived, and his brother died in the same flight. And a lady, she missed her flight by 10 minutes. Another lady, she had a flight on another day, 19th, and she changed it for 12th and she passed away. So now, mass karma. I want to discuss about why individual charts cannot predict everything. Some people are asking me, can you predict that air crash is going to happen to so many people and people die? No, actually, mass karma doesn't always show up in a horoscope of an individual because it's like standing in a wave, whether you're a saint or a sinner. If the tide hits, it hits all. However, within the mass event, like karmic precision is at work because some die, some survive, some escape by minutes, some are pulled in, despite all precautions, they get pulled into a situation. So definitely this is not randomness. It is precision of an unseen law of karma. Like this Ahmedabad flight crashes and people mourn, media speculates, families are shattered. But then amidst all this chaos, the Gita, Bhagavad Gita survived. Of course, many suitcases also survived. So it's not the miraculous thing that the book survived. But of course, it was cool and very sweet that it was Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. And another story that quietly moved through the Vaishnava world is this Gopal deity of somebody, somebody was worshipping this personal form of Krishna, and one passenger, somebody. And it's not just a murti, okay? For this person, it was a beloved companion, a witness to the heart of this devotee. So what does it mean when the flight full of precautions still ends in disaster with divine things like Bhagavad Gita and deities? How? Now, a lot of people are writing in the YouTube video comments that, oh, God, how can God do this? If Gita was there, why this happened? How does karma and grace and destiny, how all these things come together? So why this lady with the family with Gopal deity was not saved? Or why this Gita was not saving the person who owned a Gita, for instance. See, the truth is, the human mind, we want a cause. We want a cause we can control. Okay, so sometimes things collapse even when perfect systems are in place. No obvious warning, no major storm. Why? No, because the outcome is fatal. But why? Because all these material causes lies in the spiritual blueprint. That's subtler than physics, and that's called karma. And I don't see many people talking about it on this YouTube channels. And Bhagavad Gita says, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatrana muhyati. So the soul, we are souls, we're not the body. We're continuously passing from childhood to youth to old age. And then death is not the end. We're going to pass on to the next body. So the self-realized person is not bewildered by change of bodies, because that's the X factor. It's always karmic timing. For God, Bhagavad Gita is about the truth that you're not the body. And even for God, the mystery of this karma, these tragedies are not personal, okay? They are also collective. People ask why this person died. Sometimes it's not about the individual karma, but it's actually about being part of a collective moment where the wave was meant to come through. And I've been discussing with my astrology guru also about these topics. Just like tsunami, it doesn't ask who's good, who's bad. It flows based on cosmic currents. Mass karma also means that the soul's path is intersecting a larger timeline. So there's like national karma or country karma, sometimes world karma with world war, etc., a company karma, and there is a spiritual reset. So in this case, actually, the plane, the passengers, the crew, and even Gopal deity, they were all part of this powerful karmic intersection. But what it meant for every person was different. Now, let's talk about the little Gopal deity. He was not just packed in someone's suitcase, right? He was likely bathed, dressed, offered bhoga, sung to daily. And to that devotee, Gopal was a child, was a friend, was Lord, and a protector. So what does that mean, when a deity travels and doesn't reach the destination? Maybe he didn't want to leave India. And also miraculous escapes, right? Miraculous escapes did happen. All these stories of the lady who missed the flight by 10 minutes because of traffic. She was cursing the traffic, but then she realized, like, oh my God, I was never meant to go on this flight. And then this guy, the man who walked away from the rubble seconds after the explosion, and to the world, it's luck. Right? And to the sadhaka, it's karma. So we don't take, it's not personal in that way. Or it's grace of God. I mean, no other expert are able to say how this unlikely even happened. Even 11A is not even the safest seat in the flight. So there's the purva punya, some karma, pious deeds that protect us, shield us, and some karma ripen and give us another chance sometimes. At other times, it's the prayers of others, saints, our gurus, even mothers' prayers that shield us from what was written to happen. Sometimes, like this lady who had Gopal may have decided, enough with your material body, come to me, serve me, bathe me, sing for me in the spiritual world. I don't want you to see disease and hospitals and more pain and more disappointments. In 1 minute, I can end this mortal coil so you can get back to me, right? So we look at it as, oh, this person died. But for spiritual perspective, God's perspective, we are those souls. So I'm a fan of Gopal, and I'd love if I don't have to go through old age and hospitals and sickness and diseases anymore. And Prahlad Maharaj in Bhagavatam says no one can protect when the Lord chooses to destroy, and no one can destroy when the Lord chooses to protect. So through this lesson, what we can learn is God is in control. And the karma of the airlines, the government, and the institution also plays a role here, because the karma is not just for people, it's also for companies, it's for airlines, it's for nations. So institutions also carry karma. And in this whole situation, the Air India is a big company, and it definitely has its karma, especially international low-cost branches, or they are a partnership. Tata and Singapore Airlines, but Tata owns majority of the shares. So technically also the organizational karma and the consequence, it ripples. So over the past month, even India is actually going through tough transits with Saturn and Rahu, and general transits with Ketu and Mars, which in my other video I'd said that explosions and these kind of things are expected with Mars and Ketu. So this stampede that happened, so many flight crashes that's happening. The helicopter just crashed in Kedarnath, and even Diga temple controversy about the wood was happening. Many aviation incidents are happening across the airport. So many flights are coming back. But if you notice, Air India is there's more trouble happening with Air India. So astrologically, India's chart is having its transits, and Prime Minister Modi is also going through his difficult transits, and Home Minister is also going to go through some tough transits. So in astrology, these transits often bring some fall from pride, exposure of weaknesses, national mourning. So the people of the country, of these individuals, whether prime ministers or big companies, it'll reflect. We can blame or we can reflect. We can panic or we can prepare internally. Instead of asking why this is happening, we can ask, what do I need to learn from this? What's the bigger philosophical truth here? What does this reveal about life? What does this reveal about my purpose? What does it reveal about my understanding of death? What about surrender? What's the takeaway? Is it just Air India flights, or is it about my Air India consciousness, air consciousness? In Bhagavad Gītā 2:20, na jayate mriyate va kadachin, because the soul is never born, it never dies. It's eternal, it's everlasting. So yes, we pray for all the departed souls because we don't know what samskaras the family members will do. May they find the peace, may the souls find peace. We don't know the destination of these people, because when karma crashes, it's only one thing that flies above it, and that's God's will, Krishna's will. The divine is in control, not technology. The woman who passed away in the crash worshipped Gopal. She has her destiny there. The truth is much deeper than what I can see. And these little kids, we see them as kids now, but some years ago, they were old people in the previous life. And so now they are going through the transition, and we don't know as older people what their karma was and why they are experiencing. So we forget that these could be these are the souls that were old people some years ago. So karma doesn't begin at birth nor end at death. That's Bhagavad Gītā. And vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. Just like we put on new clothes and change, similarly, the material bodies are accepted and rejected by the soul. So the law of karma is incredibly subtle. It's very difficult to understand. Think about it. Can you remember even what you ate 2 days ago? It's hard. And imagine trying to recall all the actions, all the intricate karmic web. It's very difficult. And so let's be clear, nothing happens by chance, and the Lord God doesn't see bodies as the soul, as the individual. He sees our soul. So it appears unfair, sudden, in the exact moment, but because the soul is finishing a chapter, a story. Nainam chindanti shastrani, enam dahati pavaka, means the soul can never be cut or burned or wet, or it's because immutable, it is eternal. So some of us, we get into this consciousness that, oh, all these things, what is happening? What's the onward journey for these souls? If the families offer sincere prayers, rituals, offerings, then it can greatly help that soul cross over. Maybe some other souls may wander without a body for a while. Again, it may be some lesson there for those individuals. So we have faith. We don't lose faith in these circumstances. We look up and see the airplane flying and we thank God for it. We're traveling somewhere, we remember God. We know that our destination is God. And through all these things, we should never lose faith in the prayers or rituals, because remembrance of God carries weight. It's like lamp in dark times. So this whole incident should remind us of the fleeting nature of this material world. So yeah, we're unborn, we're eternal, we're primeval. The body is not, it's not permanent. Even if the body is slain, the soul is not slain, or we can never be perished or burnt, or because the soul remains untouched. So while we mourn the loss, let us also remember the eternal truth. No soul is lost, and no sincere offering to the Lord is ever in vain. So you can check muhurta when you leave your home. By the way, the crash happened in Rahu Kala. You can do prashna to see if your travel is necessary. Yet we depend on the Lord and say, go right, Chet, Jayatu, Jayatu. So take care and stay safe. Astrologically, there's a lot of ups and downs. We can learn from that. We depend on the Lord more and more, and see what is the hidden lesson behind all these world events. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.